Hey everybody, it's the Redstone Wizard here again, bringing you another Redstone tutorial. What I got for you today is probably one of the more interesting style farms, I think, but well, you'll be the judge of that. But what we're doing is actually making a slime farm. Now, this is semi-automatic. Yes, I know there is ways to do automatic ones, but those automatic ones require a lot more redstone, and this one is designed more for simplicity and control. So what it is actually a snow golem slime farm. We're killing snow golems to get slimes. Yeah. Okay, so before we get onto the build itself, which is right behind there, let's discuss on how snow golems are created. So you need 2 snow blocks, and they actually have to be snow blocks. Now, everybody knows that if you set them up like this and throw a carved pumpkin on, you get a snow golem. That's standard. Now, what some people don't know is you could actually even do it upside down, or even where the snow is on its side. You get all the snow golems. And the last thing is, if we just take a lever and power this dispenser with the carved pumpkin in it, we also get a snow golem. Now, one other thing is, if we take a set of shears, we can actually get our pumpkins back. So let's just clear these golems out. Clear this out. And yes, you can use shears inside of a dispenser for it to work also. So what we have here is the farm itself. It's actually here's all the redstone needed for the farm. This is all extra stuff. This is a storage of however you want to do it, but this is just a custom thing. It's using double speed high items filters going into crafters to create snow blocks and slime blocks, and then they just go into a shulker box loader to just to load up. So how does it work? All you have to do is just stand here, get yourself a snow block. This sits right here. And let me get rid of that. And then all you have to do is just place. And every time you place it, you're going to get an edit of the snow block you place. So I recommend having 2 in your hand to start out with, because then, boom, start placing. And it is variable, so you can adjust how long it takes for a snow before you process the snow golems into the slime. So at the moment I'm processing 24 snow golems, and there they go. And as you see, they just fall in and I just get slimes. And all you have to do is just hold it. Now, this farm is not infinite. You can't just keep it going without a few additional modifications to it, which is strictly up to you if you want to put. I have Unbreaking 3 shears in here just because. I just put a full stack of pumpkins in here because that's all I need. And here's the big one, the snow. It will not process all of it you will lose some snow, so keep that in mind. And while you're doing it, you will always be able to have 2 in your hand when it's waiting. And then the last thing that's not infinite is the potions of oozing. So you can set up a potion brewer beforehand so that you're constantly getting the potions, or you can just set them up and process. So shears, snow, and potions are the three things that's going to limit the time that you are able to run this. Now, I did run this farm specifically with the 24 without having to worry about potions. I was worried about shears and snow blocks. And I ended up running it for a little under 10 hours before it messed up. So, what happens actually is, if we flip this lever and drop down, the golem gets splashed with a potion and lands on top of this slab, which then is waterlogged, so the golem will die. Fairly fast, too, so we're getting slimes almost instantly. And then they will drop into your sorter, and then I have most of these set up so that they become snow blocks, which then gets sent back up into this system so that we could recycle. This is just a double speed item, or double speed filter without the filter. So, what do you say, guys? Let's get to building this thing. Alright, guys, we're back, and we got everything we need to build the farm inside of the double chest here. So, now some of this stuff can be used as other things, but I'm using a lot of it as I did from the previous, from the normal build. So, like I said, some of the stuff will have to be what it is, some of the stuff can't be. So, we're going to need we're going to need 3 stacks plus 11 glass. I'm using glass for visual purposes and because I could just place redstone on it. A lot of these slabs are used as roof coverings, but you can use other blocks, but you're going to need a few of them, so get some slabs. I'm using a stack plus 52, a stack plus 52 magma blocks, 1 wall, 17 solid blocks, 8 fence gates, 11 hoppers, which can be adjusted according to what you need, more, maybe a little less, it's all pending, 3 dispensers, 7 droppers, 1 stair, 2 trapdoors. You might be able to get away with 1, but 2 just in case. 8 chests, which can be adjusted according to certain needs. 1 powered rail or activator rail, which we are going to use, take away, and then use again, but for a different purpose. 4 redstone torches, 13 pieces of redstone, 2 observers, 4 repeaters, 3 comparators, 2 sticky pistons, 1 regular piston, and a hopper minecart. You're going to need water, at least 5, probably you could get away with 2, but 5 buckets maximum for this entire build. And as for variable stuff, you're going to need a bunch of shears, so you can either attach a shear crafter or just bring in shears. You're going to need 64 carved pumpkins. Well, you could probably get it down to about 16, but you're going to need some carved pumpkins. I'm taking 64 of them. Some splash potions of oozing, either constant recycle or build a brewer designed to take in splash potions of oozing. A bunch of snow blocks, and then some type of storage, because I'm not going to show you how to build the storage in this. That's up to you. And this right here is for an alternative with one specific type of case. So let's take everything, break all of that except for that. And we're going to start by placing a bottom slab on top of a block, and then surrounding that bottom block with bottom slabs. And you can take out that bottom block. It is no longer needed. Then we're going to take our fence gates, Place fence gates going around. And yes, these are actually going to be getting removed. So take the 8 and then just make sure that the centers are empty. Open up the fence gates. And I'll have them all opening up towards the center because that's how I like to do it. And grab your first water bucket and place it down. Now the snow golems, when they come in here, this is how they're going to die. And the slab is just to put the height up to a certain point so that they don't wash off. So now we're going to take our magma blocks. Move this here. And going underneath the slab, you could just click right on the slab. It'll drop it to its proper position and move on over and encircle the entire ring of slabs. And make sure that everywhere where there is a slab, underneath it is air. And the magma blocks just butt right up against it. So if you walk into it, you're pushing into the slabs and then looking, you're seeing nothing but air. Now, quick note, if you are, when working with magma blocks, for safety reasons, you have two options. Either you can crouch, or you can get yourself a set of boots with at least Frostwalker 1. If you take the Frostwalker method, you're not going to have to crouch at all, except to scoot or place blocks where they don't need to, but while standing on magma blocks, you won't take any damage. So now, all we have to do is just extend out in all directions by 3. So add 3 more blocks in all directions. And then when you get to these corners here, leave them out. So it'll be, leave out the corner. Because we got something special for those corners. Okay, so once we get this done, once you get your 11 by 11 floor done, take and place a magma block up above, just one level above the rest. Now, only reason why we're doing that is, 1, for water flow, so that the water can hit every single spot in here. And 2, if a slime happens to land on this, they're going to start taking damage. That's it. It's damage, it's extra damage, and that's it. It's damage. That's the only reason why. So you could switch this for a regular block and let them force all down there, but that's up to you. I prefer just using a magma block. Now, we're going to make a wall around here using solid blocks. I'm using glass so that I can see inside. You can actually skip all these corners unless you don't want to. You don't have to place them. I don't have to place blocks here. They're useless, so I don't put them in. But if you want for aesthetic reasons, you can. But these have to be able to be a solid wall here. And then we're going to go up a total of 4 blocks. And then, but once you actually get to second level, we're going to do one specific thing. So after the second level, standing up here, go into every single corner and place a bucket of water. Now all the water flows right to the center, and items are able to go and drop in. Now for under here, for your storage, However you do it, it's up to you. I prefer water streams when dealing with a lot of items because there's a chance that a standard hopper cannot handle all those items. So I prefer water streams, but you can use standard hoppers. The storage is up to you. Yeah, pretty much a 3x3 area that the items will be falling into. So if we go back up and finish this 2-high wall and this 4-high wall, oh yeah, and the other thing is the reason why this one's up and not down, and that is just specifically to prevent items from getting stuck in that corner. Get stuck in the corners and losing out. So that's the bigger reason why I left the magma blocks there. But yeah, it causes a downward current, but that's not important. Okay, so once you get to these here, this is where most of my slabs came from. We are going to just fill in this entire area. But we gotta do something special around where these slabs are. So here's the first slab. So if we just encase these right here and drop one down there, we can place a bottom slab 1 block below those and make sure the path is completely cleared. Because if you come in here, walk, crouch, and then just walk in, you'll be able to get in, and then when you stand up, you can't move out. That's what happens with the snow golems, but the slimes will be able to be able to get out of that area. So once we get that set up, we're just going to fully cover up this to prevent any slimes from jumping out at the moment. Jumping out. And it also gives you a nice little walk space so that you don't have to, so you can inspect and build upon. Okay, so now we got that done. Now we are going to add another block and go pick one side. It doesn't matter, and we're going to go out 4 more blocks. Now the side that you picked, we're going to grab a dispenser, place it on, pointing towards the center, with a trapdoor on the bottom. Now, it doesn't matter if the trapdoor opens up and smashes into the dispenser, or is sitting over in this corner here, opening up this way. It needs to be on the bottom. And we'll encase that and put another wall there. Now we're going to put this on hold, but before we do that, we're going to take our hoppers and pick your side, either going that way, pick the side of it. Throw a hopper on it, and then throw your chest. In this chest goes your splash potions of oozing. You can attach a automatic brewer to this to be able to constantly maintain, but that's an additive that you could add if you want. So back here, we're going to grab our repeaters. We're going to put one down on 4 ticks with 3 dusts behind it. Then we're going to grab our solid block, and on the side of the dust, we're going to place it. We're going to grab a observer and put it in line with the bottom part of right below where the slab would be 1 block back. Temporary block, come under here and put a sticky piston. Next to the sticky piston, place a block. Put 2 blocks on top. Throw dust on top of this block and a solid block and another one. Grab your comparators and place your comparators in. Grab your droppers. And I forgot to mention one little thing about these droppers. We need one other thing. And put them facing into each other, reading off of the comparators. Now this sticky piston will only be unpowered when no items are in our first dropper. Then all we have to do is just take another set of take our droppers and place them right on top of, facing each other, on top of the comparators. Now we need to place 2 torches here, and we could need to place glass here, glass here, glass here. These don't have to be glass, they could be solid. This has to be solid, and that has to be solid. Take our dust, place 2 here, 1 here, grab a comparator, place it here. Now, the 2 things I forgot to mention that are variable. One is we need a non-stackable item to go inside of this top dropper. And then we need to determine how many items we want the system to be able to process. I'm going to be using 24 because that is what that uses, and I found it actually quite fast. But you could actually increase or decrease based around what you're needing. If you need it slower, but if you need it to not produce as many slimes at once, less numbers. If you need it to where you could actually handle more slimes at once, higher numbers. So, and all it is just placing them in here, and as you can see, that is extended. So now we're going to take a solid block, place it on the side of that, and we're going to place a solid block catty corner going towards this center, and we're going to place a glass block there with dust on it, and then we are just going to circle around just like this, and any blocks that are unneeded I'm going to take out. There we go, and set them right there. Then we could actually add more blocks here. This is going to be a special spot, so I'm going to throw a torch on it with a repeater going into the solid block, a dust coming out, a solid block next to the dust with a repeater. A repeater. Now grab your last 2 dispensers, place them next to each one of these, and grab a dropper and place it right behind the dispenser. So, and then we're going to take another dropper and place it pointing up, away from this one, but next to this one. Then we will grab our hoppers. We're going to place a hopper going into the upwards facing dropper. This back one, we're going to place a hopper, and we're just going to loop it around, going over the dropper, leaving the dispenser alone. But we're going to place a solid block on top of the dropper of the dispenser. Now, in here, we're going to set our carved pumpkins. And in here, we're going to be placing our shears. So we're going to take and put a hopper here and a double chest. Now, these could all be adjusted according to what you need, but your input is behind here, and filling in this dropper, which is getting powered so that it can handle it. So what's going to happen is you're going to end up with 63 carved pumpkins in here. Add one in here. So if you want to set it up that way, that's fine, but keep in mind that if you come in here and see, oh no, there's only 63, check here. And then we're just going to take and put glass here in these two spots. We don't need any there. Where we're going to take our wall, place it here, take the trapdoor and place it on the bottom part of this block, because we need to make sure that this area right here is empty, no blocks. And then we're going to just put a temporary block up here, grab our rail, which you're going to get back, and throw a minecart hopper on top of that, take out the rail, pull it from the hopper, break the block, it's going to drop. Now we need to align it. So all you have to do is just hop in here and then just come to this back corner and adjust and nudge it. There, alignment done. Okay, but yeah. So what's going to happen is, while this is getting ready to process, we are going to place just 2 snow blocks. Boom. Okay. And it's going to dispense and shear the pumpkins. And as you can see, the pumpkin fell there. So we're just going to pull it out. And we're going to just throw it right back in. Now, if that happens to happen, just come down here and break the trapdoor. Just the trapdoor, because there was something that happened. I have no idea. It happens because that one has a trapdoor. This one doesn't. I did that just to prevent the mobs from knocking the trapdoor into this bottom. It's possible if they spawn in on this side and push. But once we place them, if you notice, we didn't get one. And we have 1 in here and 63 in here. So if I do it again, boom, we got another one. And it's also counting how many times we had them go through. So from here, in line with this dispenser, we're just going to go out a few blocks. And use either something that the piston can break or snow. Your choice. Doesn't matter. We'll work either way. Then we're going to place a glass block under here, put dust on it, and put a solid block next to it. Come back down over here and add 3. We're going to place a 4-tick repeater here with 2 dust going into a solid block. On the back side of this, we are going to place a piston, a temporary block, put a sticky piston on top of that, with our other observer pointing towards the front of the build, and a power rail behind it, or the activator rail, the one that you use to push that add save. Now we need to place a block here and here. They don't have to be solid, they don't have to be glass, but they have to be full, because we're going to place a torch. Off of the torch, going towards the piston, we're going to place a block, and then we are going to place dust and grab our solid block, place it, boom, and we get a snow golem. And then under here, all you have to do is just place a somewhere for you to stand, because we will be placing them right here. And as you can see, they are going in. And if you have it set up right, you could actually just hold down the button. And yes, it is designed for if you're holding down the button to stop snow golems from getting placed after a certain point. And then the snow golems are going to die. Boom. Yep, there they go. And there we got our slimes. And okay, so. And this reset, this, oh, subtract mode to force the reset. Okay. So now we're actually almost done. This last part is we're going to have to place a solid block here. Grab your last dropper. Now you have two options. You can either place it going this way or place it going this way. They both will do the same. This one I am going to have pointing this way. So place a temporary block and then just put a stair one block away on the top half of that temporary block from the side of the face of the dropper. And that will give you all of your snow blocks. So we'll throw snow blocks in there. And then we'll grab our hoppers. Place a single hopper behind it and grab your chest. Throw a double chest on top of this. Now, if you are recycling snowballs into snow blocks, I recommend just having the snow blocks enter from here so that you'll be able to handle it. And you can add more, add less. It's strictly up to you. This is just the basics of it. And, oh, yeah, we should throw a snow block there. Right, glass block there. Keep everything nice and tight. Now, if you notice that with the snow golems, when they spawn in on a certain block. And then they get shunted into the hole because they are barely inside of it. So, if they happen to be spawning into this general area where this torch is, they're not going to get shunted into the hole. At least not immediately. So to fix this, we're just going to place a solid block here, and a block here. I recommend either a comparator or a redstone or a repeater. I'm using a comparator for this because I'm going to throw a composter behind it and give it a signal strength of 1. There we go. Now that's full. Now, every time when I place, boom, boom, and we got them. And it still works at the same speed. So, yeah, cheers, 63. Now, if you want to just reset the system, this is what you're going to have to do. And this is just more of FYI. You don't need to do this. But you're leaving the area. You don't want to leave the jack-o'-lanterns up. You don't want to leave them there. Just push the button. That'll get them out. And then put a solid block on top of this and push the button. That will force a reset. Putting everything back into here and clearing it out. Or you can have it set up where you automatically push a single button somewhere and it works. But yeah, so we still got our our carved pumpkins in there. Carved pumpkin in there. I don't have any potions in there. I have my shears in the dispenser. Shear input. And snow blocks. So yeah, you can add more and more storage as you need. So, and if you are doing the manual reset, it's going to activate the dropper. So don't worry about it. It will work right. And so, remember, this is our point where we stand, and all you have to do is point either here, here, or even here. But I recommend the back wall. Just at the back wall, just hold down, place block, because the dust is in front of you. You can't place a block on it, and due to the orientation, you can't place a block next to the sticky piston. It could get a little confusing, but we're using the game mechanics as intended. So, yeah. You guys can just die. Okay, yeah. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked it, leave a like. If you have any questions or comments, leave it down in the comment section. If it's a major issue, I recommend joining my Discord. Link to that will be in the description. But you guys, this is the Redstone Wizard. Enjoy building.